Good evening, and thank you so much for making time for the Medicamp Health Show here at GTN TV, the home of gifts and talents. My name is Mumbi Mavuti, and as you might know, or like I'm going to inform you, every first week of August from 1st to 7th, we observe the World Breastfeeding Week. And so today we are going to be talking about breastfeeding. And we're lucky to have a nurse and a midwife here with us who's going to be teaching us more about that. But first, I'm going to give her a chance to say hi to you and to introduce themselves to you. Thank you so much, Jackie, for making time for us.
Thank you.
Kindly say hi to our viewers through that camera and tell them a little bit more about yourself before we begin.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, viewers. My name is JACKLINE NJERU. I am a nurse, specialist in midwifery, and I am happy to be at GTN TV to share more with you about Breastfeeding Week. So I work as a midwife who directly interacts with patients, and I also work with members and women at the community level, training them what to do and how to handle themselves during their reproductive cycle, and including handling the challenges of climate change on their sexual and reproductive health. So I am happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, and we're more than happy to have you here with us today. So we want to talk about breastfeeding and join the rest of the world in spreading this gospel. So, and one might wonder, when exactly should breastfeeding start? Like, the baby is here, the baby is healthy, we are happy, but how soon after that do we start breastfeeding?
Okay. So breastfeeding is a natural assignment that was given to women so that they may feed their babies. And it is made so natural, and so it just operates biologically, and things just happen in a woman's body that enable her to breastfeed her baby. Breastfeeding, we know it is the main way of feeding a newborn. And so a woman should start breastfeeding immediately after delivery, and preferably within 1 hour before after delivery. So this within 1 hour is usually facilitated mostly by the midwife. It is my work as a midwife. When a woman delivers, immediately I get hold of the baby. I will immediately place the baby on the mother's abdomen. And after this, I will enable the mother to begin the breastfeeding while still on the abdomen of the mother. So even as I cut the cord, the mother is free to start breastfeeding. So it is such a natural thing and a good thing that we are always waiting to do after delivery, to feed the baby through their mouth. So the baby is born ready to breastfeed. They usually have a reflex called the sucking reflex, and another reflex called the rooting reflex. So the rooting reflex enables the baby to sense that the breast is, something is around for me to suck. So the baby, the moment they are touched on their cheek by something, even if you use your finger and touch them, they simply turn towards that finger and try to put it into their mouth. That's the same reflex we use during breastfeeding. So we place the baby near the breast, and they turn to the breast, and most babies would start sucking at that time. Although other babies would have some, maybe they may have some drowsiness, especially if the mother had been given a drug that makes her feel sleepy. But most likely, babies will be able to begin breastfeeding within 1 hour. Yes.
And after the 1 hour, mothers are advised that once the baby is here, it is important that they only feed on breast milk and don't give them other meals or other foods at the moment. So this baby is simply just getting all their nutrients from breastfeeding. So what are the intervals, like in a day? How often should a baby be breastfed?
Thank you. So after the 1 hour of after breastfeeding, within 1 hour, of which, of course, there are factors that would make a mother breastfeed further, maybe later than 1 hour. For example, if a mother had any complication and had to be dealt with first, or if a mother had undergone a cesarean section mostly you find by the time they are stable to breastfeed, the 1 hour has elapsed. So under normal circumstances, the mother will be able to breastfeed within even 3 hours, even despite any complication. And this baby, as you have said, is expected to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. And the reason we are breastfeeding for 6 months is because the baby's digestive system is only ready to digest milk and utilize the nutrients in milk. Other things could be digested, but they will not be utilized. So this baby will not benefit from taking other feeds. So we may assume we are still feeding a baby, but we are not feeding that baby. The intervals of breastfeeding, within the first 1 week, the mother's breasts are adapting to producing milk and also to letting down the milk. The same way the baby is adapting to the breastfeeding schedule, the mother is adapting to the changes. It's usually a very major transition in the life of the mother and the baby. So the first 1 week, you might find due to less efficiency in the breastfeeding styles and maybe the milk has not come down fully, the baby could breastfeed up to around 8 to 10 times. Those are quite many times because they are taking short feeds that are not too efficient for the baby. But after 1 week, the baby should be able to be comfortable with 8 feeds. 8 feeds, that means every 3 hours. The first 1 week could go around 2 hours. So 2 to 3 hours, the first 1 week, depending on how the mother has been able to produce the milk and also the baby has been able to breastfeed. So 8 to 10 hours is usually sufficient and good. But if you find yourself breastfeeding more than 12 times in a day, you realize now that there is a problem. Probably the baby is not attaching well, or you are breastfeeding less. Or the baby could be sucking, but the baby could be sucking but not getting as much as you think. So that could be the reason the baby is not sleeping and is keeping on sucking and sucking continuously. Yes.
And so like you're mentioning, it is possible that you're breastfeeding and maybe the baby is not really benefiting, the milk maybe is not coming out for various reasons. Are there some tips that you could share with us, maybe for new mothers, on how to successfully breastfeed? Because I don't think it is as simple as just putting the baby there. There has to be some tips and there has to be the right way. How is it done?
Okay, so the efficiency of breastfeeding is fully dependent on the attachment and the positions. And that's the main challenge that women face in breastfeeding. If we talk about the challenges of breastfeeding, attachment and positioning is among the main challenges that these women face. And I know many of us have faced it, including us nurses. When you're breastfeeding, it's a challenge to everyone when you're a new mother. So there are positions that are there for breastfeeding and that will make a woman's life of breastfeeding easier. And it is always good to ask your midwife. It is good not to be afraid of us. Ask me, how can I make my breastfeeding easier? And I should be able to help you so that when you're going home, you don't get tired. Breastfeeding issues are part of the issues that cause postpartum depression because the woman has a lot of challenges in breastfeeding. One, they were not ready to wake up many times. You were sleeping for 8 hours continuously. I have friends who sleep for 10 hours and they are okay with that. No, so if this friend now gets a baby and they are waking up every 2 hours the first day, then the third day they are waking up 3 hours, this woman could transit with problems. So the positioning is the main thing that we have to talk about. So there are several positions, and I'll talk about 5 positions that you can breastfeed and makes breastfeeding effective and comfortable. So number 1, the rules of breastfeeding is that the baby should be well positioned, comfortable, and you need also to be comfortable. And breastfeeding should bring in the bond and still stimulate the milk to come down. Just to mention that when you attach the baby to the breast, these are among the things that stimulate milk production. The hormones that bring in milk, including a hormone called prolactin that manufactures milk, and a hormone called oxytocin, which brings the milk down. So already scientifically we have hormones that help us to breastfeed. So attachment is another thing that helps us to attach and to breastfeed the baby well and effectively. So because I left my dummy, let me use a ball.
Yes, you're going to use the ball?
Yes, I will use a ball to show you the positions of breastfeeding. And so we'll start with the most comfortable and the most common position that women use in breastfeeding. So a normal woman who has given birth normally, with no pain from their stitches, because there are women who are stitched after delivery. When you have no pain, you are comfortable, first you ensure you are upright. That is your body between your waist, your thighs, and your abdomen. There should be an angle of approximately 90 degrees, so you are upright. The reason you are upright is because you want to take care of your back. Remember, we don't want you to start physiotherapy after breastfeeding as a result of breastfeeding. So we want to see positions. So the first position is called the cradle position. The cradle position is the most common position and most comfortable for most women. So this method is used when sitting upright and with a baby who is comfortable, a mother comfortable. So you hold the baby whereby the head lies on this part of your arm. This is the head of the baby. And this hand is holding the buttocks. So assume the legs are here. So these are the buttocks of the baby. This is the head of the baby. Remember, for you not to get tired, you can place something here. You can use a nursing pillow or a large blanket. Place it down here. That one will help you to just have some support on your arm to avoid getting tired. Remember, you need to also take care of yourself as a mother. So you hold the baby, ensure they are facing you directly, and the head facing the breast, the head facing the nipple of the breast. And then you place the baby on the breast. Remember, the baby should open the mouth well, causing a wide gap of opening the mouth. And then the baby bites the nipple and goes ahead and bites the other black part. It's called the areola. So the baby should not bite the nipple only. They should put in the nipple and the black areola inside their mouth. And then when they are sucking, you should feel some sucking and swallowing sounds. So you should just see the baby suck and swallow. You should not feel some sounds like such sounds show you that the baby is not latching well and effectively. So this baby breastfeeds and continues breastfeeding. Remember, the time of breastfeeding is determined by the amount of milk that you could be having. It can take up to around 15 minutes in one breast, or even more, depending on how the baby is able to suck and the amount of milk. So this is the cradle position. The second position is called the cross cradle position. Cross cradle position can be used by also still the woman of normal delivery or the woman of a cesarean section. The cross cradle position is still like the cradle. The baby is still on that position, but this time you are supporting the baby with your the other hand. So if the baby is breastfeeding this left breast, I will hold the baby like this. Remember, I am still supporting the baby with something down here for your comfort and also the baby's comfort. So this baby still breastfeeds. You can support the head with your fingers like this, and this baby continues breastfeeding. Remember, the baby is facing you, your tummy and the baby's tummy are together. And this brings in the bond and the comfort that you need for breastfeeding. That is the cross cradle position. The third position is called the football position. Football position, like you see footballers holding a ball like this. So football position, the baby is on your side. This is the head of the baby. So I can support the head of the baby with this hand. This position is good for women with very large breasts. Remember, there is a very large breast that could be difficult for a baby to hold on. So if the breast is very large, and secondly, if you have had a cesarean section and you need comfort, this is a good position. The other reason you would use this position is if you have twins and you want to breastfeed them at the same time. So you will put one baby on this side and the other baby on this side. And then you get some support down there and you hold these babies and breastfeed them together. This position is good. And what you do, the body and the legs mostly lie on your side, and then the head of the baby gets to the breastfeeding, to the breast that they are feeding. So the baby and the breast are on the same side. You will feed this side, and if it is one baby, you will still move the baby to the other side and hold the baby like this. So the head comes this way and holds the breast. So this one, the baby faces the breast still. Remember, the baby still is facing the nipple. The head and the nipple are facing each other. And this one should also give a very good latch. This is a very effective position of breastfeeding. So that is the football position. The other position is the side-lying position. That is the fourth one. The side-lying position is whereby the mother lies down and the baby lies down facing each other. This position is effective for fresh cesarean section women, so that they don't have to stand, maybe they are not able to stand up or to sit down. So these women can lie on the side with their baby and breastfeed them. Another woman who can use this position is a woman who has a stitch and is feeling quite uncomfortable to sit down. Mm-hmm. So by the time the painkiller works on them, they can use the side-lying position. So this position, it's good to be careful with this position because the mother could fall asleep and leave the baby maybe and the baby on the breast. And this is very risky for newborns because the moment you leave the baby on the breast and you are asleep, the breast could cover the baby's mouth and the nose and suffocate them. So it's always important to use this position when you are not sleepy, so that you can take care of the baby and ensure you keep them far before you sleep, far from you. The other position, which is the last one, is the position whereby the woman reclines back or lies back. You lie back like this. You can use pillows to support yourself at the back here. And you place the baby here, and the baby is in a standing position. And then you feed this baby. So the baby stays slightly on your side, but on top of your belly. So this position is also good for bigger babies and also for a woman who needs some back comfort. So it is also an effective method, but for some women it could be uncomfortable, and even the babies. Those are the positions of breastfeeding that I'll talk about today. Mm-hmm. And remember to burp your baby behind. Just burp, let your baby stay in that standing position so that you are able to expel any air that could have been brought into the baby's belly. And this one could help you to be comfortable and the baby comfortable. Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you so much. That is quite enlightening. And now, if a baby chokes while they're breastfeeding, what should a mother do to help them? Okay. Mm-hmm. So talking about choking, choking mostly may occur when there are times when you're breastfeeding and the milk just comes out, a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So the baby could choke and maybe you feel like they are maybe struggling to get it out. The good thing is that naturally the respiratory system is reflexive, mm-hmm. such that if anything gets into it, it will try to expel. So the baby will most likely expel through a cough. Mm-hmm. And your role as their mother is to ensure they are not in supine position, that is, they are not lying on their back. Let them lie on the side. So lying on the side is the best way of helping this baby. Mm-hmm. Then you can just try rub their back, mm-hmm. and the choking should end. Mm-hmm. If it is a serious choke whereby now you had not realized the baby was choking, then you find the baby is already having troubles in breathing, it is always important to rush to the nearest place that the baby can be helped. Mm-hmm. But when you realize the choking early enough, it is hard for the baby to choke mm-hmm. to dangerous extremities. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for that. Now, earlier you had talked to us about breastfeeding for at least 8 hours, and that would be okay. But we have mothers who are not able to do that. Maybe they're the breadwinners of the family. They still have to go to work, and for various reasons, they're not very available to breastfeed the baby every 3 hours. Mm. What options can they explore to make sure that their baby still can breastfeed or can use breast milk exclusively for the 6 months? Thank you. So We are living in a world whereby now women are career women. Many women are working, they are breadwinners. Others are they are their own partners, so they work it alone at their homes. So it is always good not to worry about it. The way of a woman is reorganizing yourself according to the circumstances. So in the moment whereby you are working and you still want to continue breastfeeding, which is the way to go, that we want to breastfeed for 6 months exclusively. It is important to just organize yourself, learn your breast and how they produce milk, and also how your baby breastfeeds. In the last year's breastfeeding week, the theme was more of advocating for women to be having some places they can breastfeed at work, because many women complain of issues with expressing milk. So when possibly possible, you can start preparing earlier, especially when you know you are on maternity leave. We can express milk, that is expressing it from the breast, when the baby is not breastfeeding. So you express the milk, and especially it is always important to start it earlier. Especially the first 2-3 months, the breast milk is usually a lot in abundance, even the first month. So knowing that you are going back to work probably in the next 3 months, you can start expressing the milk. And you express and place it in freezers, whereby you freeze the milk, and it can go up to 6 months when that milk is still good for use. So expressing milk is important, and there are 2 ways of expressing. You can do manual expressing of breast milk, and you can also do using the breast pump. And the breast pumps, we have the manual and the electrical. So for people who are not able to use the breast pump due to the breast, maybe anatomy of the breast and how it is, maybe the shape of the breast, and also some it's just being unable to use the breast pumps, manual expression is good. Manual expression, the milk is stored just behind the black part of the breast, which is called the areola. After the nipple, we have the areola. Behind that part, that's where the milk ducts are. So the moment you are expressing milk, you just press. You press just behind the areola while supporting downwards with some fingers. You can use 2 or 3. And when you press, the milk definitely comes down. So that means you can express it, and you ensure, of course, it is clean. Your hands are clean, the breast is clean, and the container you are using is also very clean. With the breast pumps, you can examine different breast pumps to see which one fits your breast, because every woman has their own size and shape of breast. So you can use the breast pump that fits you best, that makes you comfortable, so that you have an easier time expressing. If you have a hard time expressing milk, or you feel maybe you are not able to get a lot, you can organize if your workplace is near your home. Either you can go, or the nanny can bring the baby to work, and you still breastfeed, because every woman has the right to breastfeed their child and to breastfeed up to 6 months exclusively.
That is quite beautiful. Now, sisi ni wa Africa. We have a way we want to resist things and say it's not as good as, when I breastfeed my baby directly. Now, from a professional point of view, from you who is learned and enlightened about this, is it okay? Is it as good? Is it as effective? To feed the baby with, the breast milk that you expressed and preserved, or to breastfeed directly? Are they as equally effective?
I would say yes. So far, there has been no evidence that storing milk takes away the nutrients. The only difference is that this milk that is expressed could have to be warmed before giving the baby. So it will be warmed, maybe using, mostly people put it in hot water to ensure that it is warmed. While still in its container, you just dip it in hot water, or the milk bags. They are the packaging bags or the containers. So the difference could be just the fact that this one has to be warmed. The one directly is not, you don't have to warm.
So it is
It is
just as
yes,
effective
sure.
and can work
Yes.
for a mom who has a lot of other engagements. Now, we've talked about breastfeeding the baby exclusively for 6 months. How much longer is it okay to breastfeed your baby after the 6 months?
Okay. After the 6 months, at this point now, we usually start introducing other feeds slowly by slowly. But it is important to breastfeed. The recommended time to breastfeed is up to 2 years, up to 2 years of age. And if it is completely impossible, it is good to try not to go less than 1 year. So the recommended time is you continue up to 2 years of age. You usually continue weaning off the baby slowly by slowly. But the importance of breastfeeding still remains, because the nutrients and the benefits of breast milk cannot be found in any other nutritional diet that you can give that baby. And also the easy time that the baby's stomach has to digest that milk. It is easier than any other food that you would give that baby. Yes, so 2 years is the recommended time. Yes.
Thank you so much. You have talked a lot about breastfeeding so far, you know, the positions, the times, and now we want to talk about why is it so important to breastfeed? What are the benefits of breastfeeding your baby, you know, for both the mom, and I'm sure there are benefits for the baby and the mom also. What are these benefits?
Okay. The benefits of breastfeeding the baby are so great and so good. And that's why we usually, I think that's why even the breastfeeding week was brought forward. Because as women continued getting busy, they stopped seeing the need for breastfeeding so much. So breastfeeding benefits are usually grouped into the mother's breast benefits and the baby's benefits. There are great benefits for the mother. The first thing is that they are able to bond with their baby. It is the best way of bonding, because especially when using the cradle method, you find the baby looking at the mother looks at the baby. This stimulates some good hormones to the baby. And so you realize this baby, this mother is able to bond with their baby freely. The other good thing is that breast milk takes away, it's a way of excreting waste from the mother. So the fats, the excess fats that the baby would have, that the mother would have stored in her body, the bad fat, this baby absorbs it as nutrient. It becomes a nutrient to the baby. So breastfeeding usually prevents the mother, somehow participates in preventing some chronic illnesses, such as diabetes, such as hyperlipidemias, that is having more cholesterol and high cholesterol. So it is a way of keeping fit. So breastfeeding is really healthy for this mother. And then the other thing it does to the mother is that to some point it has been said to somehow facilitate prevention of cancers, such as breast cancers. Yes, so it is that important to this mother. And the other importance is that this breast milk is free, very free. The research and books say that this mother will be able to breastfeed the baby and keep them healthy, even when they are not maybe having so much food to eat. The women who live in areas with high poverty, you realize they can be able to feed their baby at no cost. So it is affordable. The other thing is that it's always available, anywhere, anytime. These days we breastfeed anywhere, at the market, supermarket, you can sit down and breastfeed. We dream of the time when there will be a breastfeeding corner everywhere. You get to the supermarket, you find there is a room. You get to the hospital, there is a room for breastfeeding. You get to your workplace, you are able to breastfeed. So you can breastfeed anywhere. That is a good thing with breast milk. And then, of course, it is very economical, such that you don't have to warm it. The temperature is good. It is just ready for use. So those are the great benefits of breastfeeding to the mother and many others. And of course, there is another benefit to the mother. This hormone that facilitates letdown of milk, it's called oxytocin. This hormone is the same hormone that initiates labor before delivery, and it is also associated with relief from stress. So a woman who has high oxytocin levels, or who is breastfeeding, they have higher oxytocin levels. This oxytocin helps you to remain happy and excited about yourself, about your baby. You are able to even love your baby more. It is called a love hormone. You are able to love your baby and your family more. So what better thing would you need than a hormone that brings a lot of joy to you? So those are the great benefits of breastfeeding. The other benefit is to the baby. So breast milk has so many vitamins and nutrients that it gives this baby, including the nutrients that bring immunity. So breast milk, it offers immunity to this baby. They don't need supplements. They just need breast milk. They don't need medicine. Mostly women, you find when you're breastfeeding, you will hardly visit the doctor unless there are other small issues. Many other times you realize you start visiting the doctor after 6 months. So this baby is usually very healthy in terms of their health. So it stimulates their health, protecting them from illnesses. It also promotes growth and development very majorly. Breast milk contains a lot of good fat to the baby. So you realize that this good fat now to the baby causes them to increase their weight in a better way and also prevent other illnesses like obesity, which can be caused by feeding the baby with the wrong diet. So it is a good diet to this baby. They will have good growth and development, both in their brain and their physical body. The other good thing to the baby is bonding with their mother. It is usually a good feeling of security to that baby and also helps them to produce very good hormones. And of course, that bonding enables the baby to have a good heart rate, to have a good even blood pressure for themselves. So it is also medicinal in one way or the other. So a baby who is breastfeeding exclusively will be able to bond with their mother, will be able to grow and develop in a better way and a good way. And also, this baby is able to prevent illnesses or to avoid illnesses. And also the good benefits that were to the mother are also to the baby, that the milk is available, it is affordable, it is good for the baby. Yes.
That is quite beautiful, and I think breastfeeding in itself is just a beautiful experience. And it is so unfortunate that we have mothers who cannot breastfeed. And we're going to be taking a quick short break here at Medicamp, and when we come back, you're going to tell us under what circumstances can't a mother breastfeed, and then what would they do, what options are there. So don't go away, don't touch that dial. You're going to be back in a few.
RBG Engineering Limited is an engineering company that specializes in fabrication and forming projects involving stainless steel, mild steel, and aluminum, and is committed to quality, reliability, and cutting-edge technology. Our services include metal folding, metal cutting, architectural steelwork, on-site services, while ensuring we collaborate with our clients from the initial idea stage, developing the concepts and translating them into computer-aided designs. For more information, contact 0738 123 123 or visit our offices in Kingongo, opposite Shell Petrol Station along the Nyeri-Nyahururu Highway. RBG Engineering Limited, building the future.
Amaria Properties Limited twi haha ni undu waku turakwenderia broti utangitigithia thiini wa Victory Gardens Phase 2 mwena wa Makutano barabara-ini nene ya Nyeri guthie Nyahururu. Broti ici ire mita 100 kuma barabara-ini ya Rami ni njirigire kwina neighbors mai na thitima, oho kuri na mathukuru, mathibitari, wabici cia thirikari na barabara njega. 50 by 100 turakwenderia ciringi 295 wagura cash na installment ni ciringi 325 ukariha deposit ya ciringi 50 balance ukariha na mieri 6. Uhoro makiria tucerere wabici-ini citu Ruiru Town Biashara House first floor room number 16 kana uhure thimu namba 0715 770 793 kana 0721 534 650. Amaria Properties Limited, your dream, our priority.
Oh, thank you so much for keeping it GTN TV, the home of gifts and talents. This is the Medicamp Health Show, and this week we are observing the World Breastfeeding Week. And so here at Medicamp, we are learning about the same. We have a nurse, Jackie, here who has been enlightening us on quite a lot. And we've seen that breastfeeding is such a beautiful experience with a lot of benefits for both the mom and the baby. And like we said before we went for the break, it is unfortunate that some moms cannot breastfeed their babies. Jackie, under what circumstances is it not possible to breastfeed your baby?
Thank you so much. So there are circumstances that a woman cannot breastfeed their baby. And at such a point, we usually accept it and look at other options, because mostly it's usually problems or issues that come up. One of the circumstances that a mother may not breastfeed, if they have any cancer and they are in the process of treatment or getting the cytotoxic drugs, this woman may be asked not to breastfeed. It could be breast cancer or other cancers. This is because these drugs could as well be transmitted to the baby, and it could make the baby, they could also tamper with the baby's body too. So this woman can be allowed to first complete the medication, and then at the time we are sure the medication has cleared from the body, the mother can start and continue breastfeeding. And the good thing is that the moment they start, probably if it is after 1 week, this breast will still produce milk. So we can always wait and look at alternatives. There are other circumstances, like when a mother is very sick, they could not be having a cancer or something, but they are not okay. So this woman may not be able to breastfeed the baby, and options may be looked at. The other issues is when a mother has some issues of the breast, like malformations of the breast. But the good thing with those malformations is that if it is something that can be waited for, like inverted nipples and other issues or other variations of the breast, the woman can be assisted either to maybe form the nipple, or if it is not possible, expressing the milk would still work. So at this point, the baby cannot be harmed by the milk, but maybe just the breast variations. There are other times that maybe the mother and the baby maybe they have to part ways due to issues. There are women who usually get a job and they feel like this job is more important. So you find that this woman will not be able to breastfeed their baby. So under such circumstances and many others that could come up, and when a circumstance is there, we just accept it and look at alternatives. Yes.
Another condition that most of us wondered, a mother who is HIV positive, can they breastfeed?
A mother who is HIV positive can comfortably breastfeed their baby, but before they begin breastfeeding, it is always good to have that healthcare provider's guidance. The reason is because for us to prevent the transmission, because breast milk can transmit HIV to the baby. So to prevent this, there are some prophylactic medications that are given, and instructions are also given for to avoid transmission. So, and we have highly achieved this, especially even in Kenya. We are doing good at that, because most of the babies whom we are handling, they are continuing and moving on well and not getting HIV, as long as the mother was taken care of and guided on the medications. And also the second thing, the mother must continue with their HAT or their antiretroviral medications to prevent transmitting this disease to the baby. So it is possible for the mother to continue breastfeeding, but with a healthcare provider's guidance. Yes.
That is quite some beautiful advancements that we have made. And now when a baby cannot breastfeed for one or other reason, what options are there? Because this baby still needs the nutrients to grow. Do we now feed them? What happens?
For a baby who has not had the chance to breastfeed from their mother due to many circumstances, there are options that are there. The first option there are places where we have milk banks. That is, women have donated their milk. There are women who really produce milk, a lot of it. Some women could be just even young, but every woman has a potential to breastfeed. So there are some milk banks that exist, and they are there even in our country. We have one. I know one at Pumwani and many other areas that could have some. So that could be an option whereby screened milk is given to a mother, is given to a baby, milk that is screened and it is healthy. It is not advisable to give to another mother to breastfeed unless it has been approved by the healthcare workers. The second alternative that comes when there is no other option, when all other options cannot work, is to give formula milk. Formula milk has been manufactured also with some nutrients, and to some point it also helps the baby because it is digestible, and many babies can still survive with it. Yes.
And for cases of a mother who is able to breastfeed, can they give their baby's formula as a supplement as they continue to breastfeed?
For mothers who are able to breastfeed, as we have said, it is advisable to prepare early. That is even 1 month, 2 months. The moment you feel your milk is good, you can start expressing. And for a breast to produce good milk and enough milk, it needs to be emptied at least 8 times a day. At least 8 times, and minimally 6 times. That is for the breast to be well productive. Using formula milk in line with breastfeeding is something that the woman should seek help first to confirm that they are in a situation whereby they really need that top-up. I know women use it probably due to work and other circumstances. So it is always good to first confirm that completely you are not able to feed this baby and to feed them fully before preferring to use formula milk. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that clarity, and also for letting us know that it is possible for your baby to feed from the milk of another woman, but with guidance and the guidance of a healthcare provider. Now, we talked about the amount of milk that a woman is producing, and it could affect the number of times you might have to breastfeed. Now, maybe that has a lot to do with nutrition, because also what you're going to eat is probably what also the baby is going to get. So how should women who are breastfeeding feed? What kind of nutrients, what kind of foods should they be eating themselves?
Okay, thank you. So the woman who is breastfeeding requires quite a higher nutritional diet than the other normal women. But the good thing with it is that the woman, as they take a good and balanced diet, even their family is able to take a balanced diet. So there are main needs for a woman who is breastfeeding. The first thing they need is to take care of their bones, take care of their blood, and take care of their immunity. So when we talk about blood, we are talking of iron. You need high iron diet that can provide iron. And this one comes from the dark leaves, green vegetables, the very green vegetables. And I know, like here in NJERU, we have a lot. Yes. NJERU is a fertile land. There are places where they don't have enough, so those ones could be asked to continue with their prenatal vitamins. That is the IFAS, or those who take IFAS. There are those who are able to buy the multi-nutrient supplements, so you find you can continue with them. But mostly take the high iron diet. So this includes those leafy vegetables, some fruits, and also we have some cereals. The cereals also could help with irons. Iron, yes. The njahes are good. Yes, I know the Kikuyus love postpartum without njahe is like nothing. Yes. Yes, so the njahes, the kamandes, we have the njogos for Meru people. They come from Meru a lot. Yes, so they are very good. The cereals, they help women a lot. Even the njugu karanga, yes, they are also good. So the other thing we need, that was iron, that was on iron. So the next thing we are taking care of is our bones. And remember, as you get the iron, you are also able to supply the same to the baby. That is these nutrients. So when taking care of your bones, what you need is calcium and vitamin D. So where do you get this from? Vitamin D you get from sunshine. So for women who live in towns whereby you hardly access outside, and if you have to access outside, you have to go several stairs down, you find these women will stay indoors. They hardly go out. So it is important to make effort to get out. And if you can't, sometimes your healthcare provider could help you to know whether you need some supplements. And also the calcium and vitamin D go together. So when you need calcium, we get it from dairy products like milk, yogurt, cheese, such things. And we also get some of it from the cereals. So it's always important to balance it. Ensure you have some dairy products, at least take them at least 4 times in a week, so that you get the nice calcium and the nutrient you need, and vitamin D. So the other thing we need is we also take care of the bone, the blood, and we say the bone, the blood, and the immunity.
Yes.
Yes. So immunity, you are taking care of it through vitamins and also omega-3. So vitamins, you get them from fruits, vegetables, and you also get them from other diets that come from also the animals, the dairy products. So you need to take a lot of like the flax seeds. Flax seeds are really good even for stimulating lactation. So fenugreek seeds, they are always also good. And of course, this one helps a lot in terms of the way you are able to fight infections and all that. So also some fish, they also help to get omega-3, and it is usually very good. And of course, the vitamins, you have the fruits, you have the vegetables, you also have the dairies. Some of the dairies also will provide vitamins. So at this point, you will also now cover that with fluid and electrolyte balancing. So you want to take fluids. Remember, you should take 2 liters per day. Remember the clinic book that you have, the A&C book. The antenatal book has very nice guidelines on how you need to take food and how you need to take fluids. So checking on your A&C book, you need to take 2 liters of fluid per day. And the secret of taking this water and take it efficiently is that, or the fluids efficiently, is that you have your bottle. I always give my clients a bottle and ask them to put water, and it stays there. Whether you are in the house or at work, you will keep sipping that water. At last, you usually get used to sipping that water or whatever you have put in that fluid, bottle. So if it was water, if it was porridge, if it was soup, whatever you had carried with that bottle, you realize by the end of 2-3 hours you are done, and you get another set of it. And that continues and continues. So rehydration is good. And of course, now to stimulate lactation, another thing you need is fiber. Fiber is a diet that helps you to digest well, especially for CS women, or that is cesarean section women. You need a lot of fiber to ensure that you don't have issues with emptying your bowel, and also you have good production of milk. So fiber comes from some products such as the oats. You can get it also from vegetables and even fruits. They help you to get fiber. So it's always good to seek the fiber diet and take it alongside the other diet that you are taking. And with a good diet and good hydration, the hydration also takes care of your mood. So you find your mood, your mood needs to be really taken care of. Yeah, self-care is very good. Yes, so that's purely maybe just a bite of what you need to have, and you use what is available. So you can consult among the things that are available, what can I use, and it helps me. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Now we've talked about the baby and the mother, the baby and the mother. are they the only ones that are concerned with this whole breastfeeding? Or how do we support the breastfeeding moms? Because I know they go through a number of challenges. Maybe you could share what are some of the challenges that breastfeeding mothers go through, and how do we help them to overcome this so that maybe they don't even, get to postpartum depression?
Thank you so much. So breastfeeding, looking at our theme this year, we are closing the gap and supporting breastfeeding mothers. Women cannot breastfeed effectively on their own. They need support. And that is why when you come to hospital, when we see you as a client, we'll always ask you, who is your next of kin? Because you can't do it alone. It is a collective responsibility for us to support these breastfeeding people. If you are a partner or a male partner, you have a role to play. If you are a female partner, like the mother of the woman who has given birth, or the sister, or even the nanny, there are roles that you have to play to support this woman. The number one role is to help them with the house chores. The second role is to ensure that the diet that is available, whatever is available in your locality, can match their needs. So you try as much as possible to use what is there and make them healthy. The other thing you want to support them in is psychological support. Remember, this breastfeeding woman has been in the house and stays in the house for so many hours. They need support. So support them psychologically. Take the baby at some point, let them express milk, and then you stay with the kid. The next feed, you can handle it. Then the mother just sleeps. Just letting them have a nap can manage their psychology. Postpartum depression is an issue that really comes to several women. It has been rated really high, but we only get to notice around 5% of people. So it is important to look at our mothers who are breastfeeding and just note, how are they feeling? What is her psychological status? So that we are able to take care of their mood. Some of the depression could be caused by these overwhelming activities. Some of them are caused by lack of sleep. The woman completely does not sleep. They are afraid of sleeping, or the baby does not. Maybe the baby is not sleeping enough. They are worried about so many things. Others is because of just hormones. When somebody has given birth, there are some hormones that go down, progesterone and estrogen. They somehow have come down, so that now oxytocin takes over and the prolactin and all that. So you find some women could have gotten low progesterone. The oxytocin has not managed to take over very well. So this woman becomes just depressed, and they get even to, some of them could be severe, just a few. It's not so common. So it's always important to support them psychologically and physically, taking them to the clinic, bringing them back, organizing for transport. Yes, and sometimes when you note they are getting to a level that needs help, it's always good. Call a psychologist to come home, or even take them to the psychologist for some help, or even to the midwife, who can really help. Yes.
Thank you so much. This has been quite an enlightening episode on breastfeeding. I think we have played our role in this breastfeeding week. And we are glad we had you here to enlighten us on all of that. And now as we wind up, what would you really like to hammer on as you talk to the breastfeeding mothers and encourage them to keep breastfeeding their kids for the 6 months and also beyond that up to 2 years?
Thank you. So as we conclude, we can say that breastfeeding is very important. And it is not only to the mother, but to the baby, but also to the mother. So breastfeeding is part of self-love. When you're breastfeeding your baby, you are loving yourself, because you have an easier time with the baby and also with yourself. So what I would like to encourage the women, every woman is able to do it. You are able to make it. But you can't be like anyone else. There are women who get discouraged when they hear the other women are having a lot of milk, but then they are not able even to express. Do not hate yourself. Every woman and every person has their own hormonal makeup. They have their own scientific or anatomical makeup. Just seek support. Support seeking is the best thing. Don't also keep quiet when you have issues. It is always good to share. At times people share when already they are so depressed about it. So we are here to support you. We are midwives, I work at NJERU County Referral Hospital. You can, if you are around there, come. We help you to breastfeed. And I know even here in Odaya, people have a lot of places they can go. So always seek for support. You are able to do it, you can do it. Breastfeed, express the milk, you can store it. You can store it, we have seen you can store for 6 months. So prepare early enough. In a freezer that is like negative 18 degrees, you can store it for 6 months. In the normal fridge, you can store it for around 5 days. And in the room temperature, 6 hours. So we have good ways of storing milk. And if you can go to work with your baby, well and good. It is good. We are here to support you. Happy Breastfeeding Week. I am a happy midwife to have enlightened our people, and I hope this goes to a good, to help them in a great way. Yes.
Thank you so much. I am sure that a lot of people have learned quite a lot, as I have learned myself. I know a lot of things that I did not know before this, and so I know a lot of women out there have been impacted. So thank you so much, dear viewer, for taking your time to learn with us here on Medicamp. My name is Mumbi Mavuti, and remember that your health is your wealth, and there isn't a single magic bullet for health. You have to live healthy for you to be healthy. See you next Tuesday, same time, same place.